Hello, this is Shaughnessy Gunner, back here again today on the bench. Picked up a new revolver here. It's a Heritage manufacturing, and if you could take a pretty good guess, it's probably going to be the Rough Rider, and that's exactly what this is. Heritage is well known for making, cheap, inexpensive 22 long rifle and 22 mag revolvers for, small game, woods carry, and plinking and stuff like that. They do make some larger caliber items in 45 Colt, 357. I have never gotten my hands on them, but like I said, pretty well known for being an inexpensive firearm. In here you have the manual, which kind of just gives you some quick information about how to operate the single action revolver. You got a little thing here kind of stating that free shipping offer for another cylinder, so you can get the 22 mag. So you can have the option to fire both. They do have 22 mag combo kits. I picked this one up for 120 bucks. The combo kit was, I believe, $169 at the store that I picked this up at. And I mean, that's fine. I just figured, for $29.99, I can just pick up the cylinder at my own leisure. And the model that they had was a little bit shorter barrel for the combo, and I kind of liked a little bit longer barrel. So, especially for 22 mag in the future, I think I'd like that. Not saying you couldn't find one with the longer barrel with the combo, but yeah. So, biggest thing to note on these is they are cheap. It's 120 bucks. You can find them sometimes for $99. You're really not talking too much variation there between those prices. Biggest thing to note though is being inexpensive, you're going to have some fitment issues, you're going to have some finish issues. They don't spend a lot of time on these. It's not like a clockwork, beautiful, $800 Smith & Wesson or something. So biggest thing I'll note is on the finish, it's got some spalling. It's not real durable. You can see here, I mean, this is a brand new gun. I've only fired a few shots through it. And this is kind of more of a first impressions video, but you can just see some little chatter bumps in the barrel underneath here as well. And I mean, could you expect a little bit better quality? I mean, I guess you could. But for my purpose, I mean, it's fine, whatever. I know it's not gonna probably hold up as soon as I put it in a holster and walk through a woods one time. So, so there's one thing to note. And I believe the frames are kind of made out of a zinc Zamac casting. I've never had any issues with Zamac in any of the pistols I've owned over the years that have used it. It's a heavy, it's not super strong, but it serves its purpose, and it really, that's how you're basically getting that price point. We'll say that the finish on the cylinder is a little nicer. Not sure if that is 100% steel or if they did a Zamac casting around steel sleeves. Don't quote me on that, but either way, it is what it is. The other thing, price point wise, is a couple of the features on it, like the trigger, the ejector rod, plunger handle here. It's plastic, and there is a safety that people either love or, I'm going to say more people dislike it, but for all intents and purposes, it doesn't really affect much. It just kind of changes the looks. If you're expecting a perfect copy of an 1873 Colt, you're not going to get that. But it does work. It does give you a little option. It's a firing, or it's a hammer block here, so when you turn it on to the safe, it'll block the trigger from engaging the firing pin. So as you can see, I don't know if you can pick that up, but it keeps it off. And for carrying it in the woods and shit, if you're just using it for squirrel or just kind of taking out some small varmint around, not a big deal. It's not really a self-defense gun. And I will say this, it is easy to engage and disengage. I mean, you really don't have to change your grip too much. The action itself feels pretty nice. I'll give it that. It's not like a real precise glass rod breaking trigger pull and hammer cock, but it's not bad for the price. That's the one thing you got to put in terms of comparison, is that it's going to be mainly based upon how the price and the value. Do I think that this is a decent value for the option to have a 22 to use for a plinker or use for, you know, some small game and stuff? Absolutely. I have heard of, you know, people having issues here and there, but parts are pretty cheap. Like I said, cylinder here, $29.99 for a new cylinder. So if you wear them out, you can get them pretty cheap. Again, you could just buy a whole new revolver as well. So, yeah, I mean, the trigger pull itself in this gun is unloaded. Definitely confirmed that before the video. But trigger pull itself is nothing to really write home about. It's fine. It's a little heavy, but it's not a huge problem, I would say. It's in 22, so trigger control is going to be really easy. You're not going to have a lot of recoil and stuff like that. So if it has a little heavier trigger pull, you can compensate pretty easily. As far as, you know, disassembly, it's pretty easy. You just spin out the loading gate, cock the hammer back to the second position there. Pull out your pin after pushing the little release button, and your cylinder pops right out. Like I said, the cylinder has a pretty good weight to it. It feels pretty well made. Then you get inside on the frame. You can see some of the casting lines and stuff like that around. Like I said, a little rough, but it serves its purpose. You know, it's not, like I said, I'll keep saying it. It's based upon what your, you know, your quality perception. If you wanted a better quality one, you know, one to look at is a Ruger Wrangler. I did think about going with one of them today when I picked this up. But thing is, at least in this, you have the option for 22 mag. The Wrangler's they had that listed at about $200. So at least, you know, with this one, you do have the option of a 22 mag. You know, if you want a little bit of extra horsepower behind your shots, especially if you're going to use it on small game or shooting, you know, varmints and stuff around the property. You know, and maybe someday I'll get one of them to kind of compare, but I think for the most part, this is a pretty serviceable revolver to use, like I said, for outdoors carry, plinking, stuff like that. The grips do look nice. That's another thing to note. You know, they got a nice finish on them. You know, do they made up perfectly of the frame? No, not really. You can see here, there's little overhangs. But it's fine. You could probably easily mitigate that and stuff like that. But yeah, I think you know, anybody would be probably well served with it, especially for the price. You can't. I can't stress that enough. You know, when you get into these cheaper firearms like this, you really gotta kind of expect what you're gonna get. So if I have a breakage, I'm not gonna say it's an absolute piece of crap. I mean, like you say, you get what you pay for. Obviously, I paid cheap price for it. So if something breaks down the line, you know, I bought 525 rounds of some Remington 22. So if I can get through that entire box without any issues, I'll probably be pretty happy and consider it basically worth the price of admission. If I do have issues early on or something, then, you know, I'll send it back and go from there. But, and I'll do an update video in the future. You know, if I do have any issues, I will on any of my firearms, just to kind of share with everybody so they kind of know what they're looking at and what to expect down the line. Ooh, another thing to know is I actually do like the styling on the hammer here. It's got a nice checkering on it. It looks really nicely made. You know, you can tell it's not like real high quality metallurgy, but not bad. So yeah, I mean, let me know what you guys think. Like I said, probably a lot of you guys do have these. And I'll probably, you know, try to shoot the crap out of it and see how she goes. But yeah, so thanks for watching, and I'll keep you updated soon.